A Human Resource Management/HRM Job Guide 1. Chapter 1. Human Resources Management Job Guide 1. Human Resources Management/HRM Career. You can read a more in-depth version of this article at bls.gov/oco/ocos021.htm. Human resource management is a fancy term for a profession where you find good employees to work for a company or several companies, as in the case with executive recruiters, interview them, train them, upgrade the other employees with occasional educational workshops for safety, new technology, etc., and administer things like retirement plans, health insurance, labor relations, etc. You're the administrator of the workers. Human resources professionals or personnel workers can either specialize in one area or do most of the following tasks which make the human resources field. Recruit new employees through ads, interviews, tests, etc. Implement employment laws. Manage employee files such as conducting performance reviews. Take care of paychecks and retirement benefits. Manage fringe benefits. Manage training like safety, corporate training, motivation, etc. Labor relations with the employees. Manage international employees who come from other countries to work for the company. Manage health benefits. Manage travel expenses. Help relocate employees posted to other areas. Although some jobs in this field require only limited contact with people outside the office, most involve frequent contact. Dealing with people is an essential part of the job. In a small organization, one person can handle all aspects of personnel administration. In a large corporation, the top human resources executive, usually an executive vice president, develops and coordinates personnel policies and programs. These policies are implemented by a director of personnel relations and a director of industrial relations. The director of personnel relations, also referred to as personnel manager, oversees several departments, each headed by an experienced manager, concerned with basic personnel activities, employment, compensation, benefits, education, and training and employee welfare. Employment managers oversee the hiring and separation of employees. These activities require a range of specialists. Recruiters maintain contacts within the community and may travel extensively, usually to college campuses, to search for promising job applicants. Recruiters talk with applicants and recommend those who appear qualified to fill vacancies. They may administer tests and check references. EEO representatives or affirmative action coordinators investigate and resolve EEO grievances, examine corporate practices for possible violations, and compile and submit EEO statistical reports. Job analysts, sometimes called position classifiers, collect and examine detailed information about job duties to prepare job descriptions. These descriptions explain the duties, training, and skills each job requires. Occupational analysts conduct research, generally in large firms. They are concerned with occupational classification systems and study the effects of industry and occupational trends upon worker relationships. They may serve as technical liaison between the firm and industry, government, and labor unions. Employer relations representatives, who usually work in government agencies, maintain working relationships with local employers and promote the use of public employment programs and services. Employment interviewers, sometimes called account representatives, manpower development specialists or personnel consultants, help match job seekers with employers. Establishing and maintaining a firm's pay system is the principal job of the compensation manager. Assisted by staff specialists, compensation managers devise ways to ensure fair and equitable pay rates. Employee benefits managers handle the company's employee benefits program, notably its health insurance and pension plans. Familiarity with health benefits is a top priority at present, as more and more firms search for ways to respond to the pressures posed by the rising cost of health insurance for employees and retirees. In addition to health insurance and pension coverage, many firms offer their employees dental insurance, accidental death and disability insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, stock options, profit sharing and thrift/savings plans. Benefits analysts and benefits administrators handle these programs. Training or, more broadly, human resource development is supervised by education and training managers. Training specialists are responsible for planning, organizing and directing a wide range of training activities. Trainers conduct orientation sessions and arrange on-the-job training for new employees. They help rank-and-file workers maintain and improve their job skills and possibly prepare for jobs requiring greater skills. Training methods include on-the-job training, vestibule schools, in which shop conditions are duplicated for trainees prior to putting them on the shop floor, apprenticeship training, classroom training, programmed instruction, which may involve interactive videos, video discs, and other computer-aided instructional technologies, simulators, conferences, and workshops. Employee welfare managers are responsible for a wide array of programs covering occupational safety and health standards and practices, health promotion and physical fitness, medical examinations, and minor health treatments such as first aid, plant security, publications, food service and recreation activities, van pooling, employee suggestion systems, child care, and counseling services, an area of rapidly growing importance. Counseling may help employees deal with emotional disorders, alcoholism or marital, family, consumer, legal and financial problems. Career counseling and second career counseling for employees approaching retirement age may also be provided. The Director of Industrial Relations formulates labor policy, oversees industrial labor relations and negotiates agreements resulting from disputes involving the firm. Industrial labor relations programs are implemented by labor relations managers and their staff. When a collective bargaining agreement is up for negotiation, labor relations specialists provide background information on behalf of management's position, which requires familiarity with economic and wage data as well as extensive knowledge of labor law and collective bargaining trends. The labor relations staff interprets and administers the contract with respect to grievances, wages and salaries, employee welfare, health care, pensions, union and management practices and other contractual stipulations. Dispute resolution, that is, attaining tacit or contractual agreements, has become increasingly important as disputants attempt to avoid costly litigation, strikes, or other disruptions. Dispute resolution has also become more complex, involving employees, management, unions, other firms and government agencies. Specialists involved in dispute resolution must be highly knowledgeable and experienced and often report to the Director of Industrial Relations. Conciliators or mediators advise and counsel labor and management to prevent and, when necessary, resolve disputes over labor agreements or other labor relations issues. Arbitrators, sometimes known as umpires or referees, decide disputes and bind both labor and management to specific terms and conditions of labor contracts. Many colleges and universities have programs leading to a degree in personnel and labor relations. Others offer degree programs in personnel administration or personnel management. Some offer degrees or certificates in training and development or compensation and benefits. Depending on the school, preparation for a career in human resource management may be obtained in departments of business administration, education, instructional technology, organizational development, human services, communication, or public administration. Graduate study in industrial or labor relations is becoming increasingly important for those seeking work in labor relations. A law degree seldom is required for entry-level jobs, but many people responsible for contract negotiations are lawyers, and a combination of industrial relations courses and law is highly desirable. A degree in dispute resolution provides an excellent background for mediators, arbitrators, and related personnel. The American Society for Training and Development publishes a list of seminars/workshops for the current year in their annual Human Resource Book. HR Career Advice websites: ncdia.org, National Career Development Association. bls.gov/oco/ocos021.htm, Human Resources, Training, and Labor Relations Managers. hrcrossing.com, Human Resources Manager Jobs. hrjob.ca, Human Resources Jobs. HR College Education Info. At shrm.org, there are lists of college offering undergrad and grad HRM programs. shrm.org/education/pages/bachelorofarts.aspx. briarcliff.edu. cbpa.csusb.edu/academic_departments/management/undergraduate_progs_concn.htm, Bachelor of Art in Management with a specialization in Human Resource Management, San Bernardino, CA. Concordia.edu, Austin, TX. online.csp.edu/adult-programs/business-finance-marketing/bachelor-of-finance-human-resource-management, St. Paul, MN. hood.edu Frederick, MD. lindenwood.edu, St. Charles, MO. lindsay.edu, Columbia, KY. lynchburg.edu/hrmanagement.xml, Lynchburg, VA. midway.edu/academic-programs/business-business-administration/conc-HRM, Midway, KY. mtmercy.edu, Cedar Rapids, IA. murraystate.edu, Murray, KY. ottawa.edu, Overland Park, KS. stleyo.edu/academics/school-of-business/undergraduate-degree-programs/human-resources-management, St. Leo, FL. fox.temple.edu/department/HRM, Bachelor of Arts in Human Resource Management, Philadelphia, PA. cba.uni.edu, Cedar Falls, IA. stthomas.edu/business/degrees/undergraduate/academics/ba/human-resources.html, Minneapolis, MN. uiw.edu, San Antonio, TX. webster.edu, St. Louis, MO. Human Resource List of Jobs. There aren't really any all-around HR people. Pick one specialty and go with it, either hiring and firing or money management. Benefits Administrator, Benefits Analyst, Benefits Director, Benefits Executive, Benefits Manager, Benefits Professional, Compensation Administrator, Compensation Analyst, Compensation and Benefits Director, Compensation Director, Compensation Executive, Compensation Manager, Compensation Professional, Diversity Manager, EEO/Diversity Director, EEO/Diversity Executive, EEO/Diversity Manager, EEO/Diversity Specialist, Employee Assistance Program Manager, Employee Relations Manager, Employee Relations Professional, Employee Relations Representative, Employment Director, Employment Executive, Employment Manager, HRIS Manager, HRIS Specialist, Human Resources Call Center Manager, Human Resources Director, Human Resources Generalist, Human Resources Manager, Human Resources Operations, Human Resources Planning Executive, Labor Relations Manager, Labor Relations Professional, Labor Relations Representative, Management Development Manager, Manager, Organization Development Manager, Organization Development, Professional, structures the organization and culture, Organization Development Specialist, Pension Plan Administrator, Pension Planning and Administration, Recruiter, Relocation Manager, Safety Manager, Senior Recruiter, Staffing Professional, Training and Development Executive, Training Director, Training Manager, Training Specialist, Training/Learning and Development Professional, Work-Life Manager. Others jobs, like General Manager, Administrative Assistant. Chapter 2. Human Resources Management Job Guide 2. Organizational development/career development info. Organizational development is a confusing term. It means career development. On the one hand, it is a career specialty option of human resources, to be a career development counselor. On the other hand, people go to these career development professionals both within big companies on the HR staff and on their own to get career guidance. odnetwork.org, Organizational Development Network. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/organizational_development. Advisorteam.org. Amazon.com/promoting-development-culture-your-dp/0891061096. amacam.org.eg/hr/career-dev-center. andrewsmonroe.com. antiocheni.edu/om/careerdev.cfm. airs.com. careerintelligence.net. careerpmi.com, Career Planning and Management Inc. cvoptical.com/careers_vpod.htm. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/career_development. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/chaos_theory_in_organizational_development. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/organization_development. entrance-s.com. google.com/alpha/top/sciences/social_psychology/industrial_and_organizational. hr.com/hr/communities/organizational_development. learningandperformance.net. mindleaders.com. orgzol.com, Organizational Research and Solutions. personalitypathways.com. plexus.com/careerdevelopment.php. resultsthatmatter.com, Kennedy and Company, Coaching for Personal Growth, Career Development, Leadership and Organizational Training. smartdraw.com, Create organizational charts in minutes. sbaxman.com.hk, Business and Career Coaching. stamfordhospital.org/about/careers/development.aspx. sunycdo.org, SUNY Career Development Organization, the State University of New York System. ttgconsultants.com. Organizational Development/Career Development Counselor Career. apa.org/science/ic-smith.html, An interesting career in psychology, organizational development. coloradocareers.com/organizational-development.htm. educatio-videos/organizational-development-video-video-career-options.html. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/global_career-development-facilitator, the Global Career Development Facilitator, GCDF, certification is an evolution of the Career Development Facilitator, CDF, certification. Developed by the National Career Development Association, NCDA. meresuccess.com. northwestern.edu/msloc, Northwestern University Masters in Learning and Organizational Change. oclc.org/ca/fr/careers/working@/training.htm. okcareertech.org/acd/mdgress, Management and Organizational Development. psy.edu, Corporate Coaching and Organizational Development Courses. shrm.org/hrDisciplines/org-mpdev/pages/cardev.aspx. stephenjames.com/careers/organizational-development-jobs.aspx. toolpak.com/a/career.html, careers in organizational development. unt.edu/unt-dallas/career-guides/organizational development.pdf. Pepperdine University. School of Business and Management. 400 Corporate Point. Culver City, California, 90230. 310-568-5598. Pepperdine.edu. A few campus sessions necessary for MSc in Organizational Development. Relocation Administrator/Relocation Consultant. There are relocation companies that hire their services out to individuals and companies who send their workers to postings in other areas. They help people move. They do everything from hiring a mover to taking care of most of the paperwork and even get visas if the customer is moving to another country. There are also relocation professionals who work in the human resources or accounting department of large companies to help employees who are posted elsewhere move. Most have some college education, usually a business degree. For employees moving overseas, the relocation administrator must often calculate a moving allowance and factor in bonuses to the paycheck because many companies add bonuses to employees working overseas. There might be a housing allowance too. They have to make travel arrangements. They often have to pay for the travel of the employee's entire family. They might have to pay for the private schooling of the employee's children. ERC.org, 800-372-5952, Employee Relocation Council. Jobancusa.com/work-home-jobs/og22/financial_relocation_consultant_flexib1.html. runsheimer.com/web/publications/rrr-2000-12.pdf, profile of the relocation administrator. taracompany.com/projects.html. realtytimes.com. relocationagents.com. rhstemhousing.com, a national provider of extended stay, corporate housing services and emergency housing services. corporatecare.ie, a relocation service based in Cork, Ireland. www.francis.com. crystalsellsdenver.com, Denver. relo-experts.com, Nevada. relocationcentral.com. relocation-guide.net. relocationguideinline.com. relocationhelpdesk.com, Raleigh, NC. reloguide.net. relojournal.com, relocating. movingtoaz.com/relocation/index.php. libertyrelocationdivision.com, 800-296-1802, Nevada. kudzu.com/guide.jsp, guide name equals relocating.html, Atlanta, Georgia. Relocation Services. insiders.com/relocation. erc.org, Employee Relocation Council, many real estate links. euro-relocation.com, relocation agents. firstlinerelocation.com, helps you move. themygroup.com, global relocation services. Chapter 3. Human Resources Management Job Guide 3. Trainer job websites. trainercareers.com. trainingcareers.net. trainingcoordinator.net. trainingjobs.com. trainingjobsite.com. trainingspecialist.net. Vocational Guidance Counselor Career. A vocational counselor assists in exploring vocational goals. They help different types of people like 1. When people are laid off or retire, a company might have a vocational rehab counselor on staff to help them train for a new career in another field. 2. After injury or illness, vocab rehab counselors help people find a new career. 3. Government organizations like the military help people find new careers. The vocational counselor is like a high school guidance counselor. They give you vocational aptitude tests to see what you're naturally good at, then guide you towards something you're interested in. occupations.careers.org/7561/vocational-guidance-counselor. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/career_counseling. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/vocational_guidance_counselor. people.howstuff.works.com/vocational-guidance-info.htm. answers.com/topic/vocational-guidance. bls.gov/ooh/community-social-service/school-and-career-counselors.htm education.portal/guidance_counselor_career.html Vocational Rehabilitation Counselor Career/Vocational Rehabilitation Jobs. The vocational rehab counselor helps injured and disabled people find a new career or get back into their old one. uwstout.edu/program/sp/vert/upload/sp_vert.pdf bu.edu/cpr/training/vocrehab vocrehab.com. Vocrehab is a vocational information company that specializes in internet-based vocational information, career transitioning, and transferable skills analysis. Indeed.com/q-rehab-counselor-jobs.html Simplyhired.com/jobs/list/q-vocational+rehabilitation+counselor careerbuilder.com/jobs/keywords/rehabilitation+counselor bls.gov/oco/ocos067.htm gwu.edu/chaos/rehab/employ2.htm employment opportunities and rehabilitation counseling in the Washington, D.C. area and across the U.S. salary.com/vocational-rehabilitation-counselor-salary.html jobs.state.va.us/career-guides/advocschoolcounselor.htm careerjet.ca/vocational-rehabilitation-jobs.html careerjet.com/vocational-rehabilitation-jobs.html nationaljobs.washingtonpost.com/all-list/q-vocational+rehabilitation+department nationaljobs.washingtonpost.com/all-list/q-vocational+rehabilitation+counselor vr.idaho.gov/jobs.shtml simplyhired.com/list/jobs/list/q-vocational+rehabilitation vocationalrehabilitationjobs.com hound.com/q-title-vocational+rehabilitation+counselor-jobs.html jobsonline.net/vocational-rehabilitation-counselor-jobs rehab.state.al.us/employment-with-adrs/career-service-division/vocational-rehab Litation Service Careers rehabjobs.org rehabworks.org/careers.shtml ric.org/resources/vocational-rehabilitation careerplanner.com/job descriptions/educational, vocational, and schoolcounselors.cfm education.nih.gov/lifeworks.nsf/alphabetical+list/counselor, plus rehabilitation home.att.net/tilde-weisinger/jobs.htm michigan.gov/som alyouthinfo.org/job.html, Access Living Youth Center indeed.com/vocational-rehabilitation-jobs jobs.monster.com/v-healthcare-q-vocational-rehabilitation-counselor-jobs.aspx jobs.monster.com/v-healthcare-q-vocational-rehabilitation-specialist-jobs.aspx jobs.oodle.com/vocational-rehabilitation-counselor/careers jobs.oodle.com/vocational-rehabilitation-counselors/careers/social-services-counseling-jobs jobs.usnews.com/jobs/vocational-rehabilitation-counselor Work-Life Manager Career Work-life managers work for big companies. Their job is to develop a family-friendly workplace, to balance the needs of the workplace with the needs of the employees. Allp.com, Alliance for Work-Life Progress. career.jobboom.com/work-life/relaxation-vacation. greatplacetowork.com, helping companies improve corporate performance and raise the quality of work-life for their employees. greatplacetowork.com.mx. greatplacetowork.de. greatplacetowork.fi. greatplacetowork.ie. greatplacetowork.it. greatplacetowork.jp. greatplacetowork.nl. greatplacetoworkeurope.com. greatplacetowork.fr. greatplacetowork.pt. workfamily.com. Chapter 4. Human Resources Management Job Guide 4. Human Resources Manager Job Websites. shrm.org/publications/HR magazine/book blog/lists/post/id=$3 The Society for Human Resource Management offers a good list at blog.shrm.org. dresser-associates.com/what-is-hris.php $. shrm.org/hr-today/news/hr-magazine/0616/pages/default.aspx. td.org/publications/magazines/td. Benefits Magazine. efebp.org/resources/magazines. jobs.shrm.org. worldatwork.org/careercenterome/home.jsp. jobs.shrm.org. jobs.td.org. efebp.org/resources/jobs and benefits. Association for Talent Development. 1640 King Street, Alexandria, Virginia 22314-2746. 800-628-2783. Customer care at td.org. td.org. American Arbitration Association, AAA. 800-778-7879. adr.org. International Foundation of Employee Benefit Plans. epub 69. Brookfield, WI 53008006 Euro. 888-334-3327. efebp.org. International Society for Performance Improvement. epub 13035. Silver Spring, Maryland 20910-0035. 301-587-8570. info@isbi.org. isbi.org. Society for Human Resource Management. 1800 Duke Street, Alexandria, Virginia 22314-3499. 800-283-7476. Careers at SHRM. shrm.org. World at Work. 14040 North Northside Boulevard, Scottsdale, Arizona 85260-3601. 877-951-9191. Customer Relations at worldatwork.org. worldatwork.org. Career and Employment Counselor Job Websites. American Counseling Association, ACA. 5999 Stevenson Avenue, Alexandria, Virginia 22304-3300. 800-347-6647. Counseling.org. Career Planning and Adult Development Network. epub 611930. San Jose, California 95161-1930. 408-828-3858. arnodell@mac.com. careernetwork.org. National Association of Colleges and Employers, NACE. 62 Highland Avenue, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania 18017-9085. 800-544-5272. naceweb.org. National Board for Certified Counselors, NBCC. 3 Terrace Way, Greensboro, North Carolina 27403-3660, 336-547-0607, nbcc@nbcc.org, nbcc.org, National Career Development Association, NCDA, 305 North Beach Circle, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma 74012-2293, 918-663-7060, ncda.org, National Employment Counseling Association, NECA, employmentcounseling.org, Human Resource Employment Agency, recruiter websites at jobstars.com/human-resource-employment-agencies, arlingtonresources.com/hr-job-opportunities, bertramanassociates.com/candidates/index.php, donnadavis.com/current-openings, fredericksonpartners.com/contact-us, hrsearchpartners.com/career-opportunities, hrsearchpros.com/hr-professionals, hrsourcestaffing.com/jobs, huntransige.com/become_candidate, shoresrecruiting.com/FAQ, thairteam.com/contact, thairsource.com/jobseekers, wellingtongroupinc.com/contact.html, HRM job websites at jobstars.com/human-resource-job-sites, jobstars.com/tag/human-resources, employeebenefitsjobs.com/jobs/by_date.html, hrcrossing.com/lcabout.php, ihirayer.com, jobhoney.io, hr.com/en/hr_careers, luraweb.org/job-board, humanresources.org/careers, jobs.pafo.net, jobs.shrm.org, wdgigs.com, occupational safety and health job websites, careeradvantage.aiha.org/jobseekers, AIHA, career services events, careerthoughtleaders.com/careerjam, careerjam, naceweb.org/conference-expo/default.htm, NACE conference and expo, nadac.org/annual conference, NADAC annual conference, HRM job events, espaonline.org/conference, ESPA annual conference, thset20/public/enter.aspx, the special event, aiha.org/r-events/aihce-exp, the American Industrial Hygiene Conference and Expo, safety.aspi.org, ASSP Safety, napar.org/convention, NAPR annual convention, physician and clinician recruitment industry, atdconference.td.org, ATD conference.